Today I want to talk to you about something that isn't always as obvious as it seems, and that's called brand salience. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I talk a lot about the work of Les Binet and Peter Field. Why? Because their data over a decade of studying what actually works in marketing and what doesn't essentially comes down to two things: the long and the short. The short is tactical, getting in front of clients who need legal help right now, but the long, building mental availability so you come to mind when they eventually need you. That's what drives sustained growth. And here's the thing, the bigger law firms absolutely understand this. They play the long game relentlessly. Let's do a quick test. Name the first 3 compensation law firms that pop into your head. I bet you named the category leaders. Why? Because they've achieved something called brand salience, the ability to come to mind easily in buying situations. Now, if you're not one of those firms with strong salience, you have 2 strategic options. First, you can try to build distinctiveness within the category. This means having clear brand assets and codes that help you get noticed, and you couple that with the long. Logan Law in Australia did this brilliantly with controversial marketing that made them stand out. But it doesn't always need to be so extravagant. If you're a small law firm in a regional location and you've got a bunch of the big players among you, turning your marketing spend towards the long can shore up the bets. Or second, you can create an entirely new category. And what the authors of Blue Ocean Strategy talked about, and what Christopher Lochhead in his book Playing Bigger called category design. And by way of example, Legal Vision in Australia is a perfect example of what they did. They didn't try to outcompete traditional law firms, they created a new space. Now, Lochhead argues that the most successful companies don't just compete in existing categories, they design entirely new ones. Legal Vision didn't set out to compete with traditional commercial law firms, they created a new category of subscription-based legal help coupled with legal docs and legal services for those when they needed them. And perhaps for you, it's not a new category per se, but a subcategory of the larger one. Years ago, we launched a compensation brand that was solely focused on road accidents. It's still there today, and it has a very solid footing in that subcategory. And the long was played very, very organically and economically. Old school signs on cars, sponsoring sporting events, sandwich boards at school fetes, local ads, and the like. The key point is, without brand salience, you're forever trapped in the short-term tactical game of chasing leads. And the real power comes from being mentally available when clients need you. That's brand salience, and it's a derivative of the long, and I can tell you after nearly 20 years growing law firms, most law firms simply won't play the long, and there lies the opportunity.